Daily Broadside, day 734. I don't like the original Blues Brothers movie, mostly because I don't like Cab Calloway and his stupid Mooney the Moocher song, and I don't like Aretha Franklin. But one of the dumbest scenes in that movie that makes no sense is the Aretha Franklin scene. They come into this crappy diner, and they sit down, they order 4 whole chickens and a Coke and some dry white toast. And then when she goes in there to give the order to the cook, who is her betrothed, he's like, "Jake Elwood." And he realizes that that's who's ordering because he knows what they eat. And he goes out there and he introduces himself. "Hey, I ain't seen you in a while." Meanwhile, you can tell that from their vantage point at the far left end of the bar, Matt Guitar Murphy, the cook in question, is like 6.5 feet away. And there's a big old window and a big old door that they can clearly see where he was just standing. That drives me nuts. I don't understand how you can make a movie and somebody doesn't like raise their hand, some key grip or somebody on the set, and go, shouldn't we at least like put him in the back? Because it's so plainly obvious that they could see him, he could hear them talking. Like, this whole conversation didn't need to happen. Plus, Aretha Franklin's just a bitch. I was watching somebody, apparently there's some dude in jail, some Amish guy that killed his wife, girlfriend, or some kind of plot to hire murder scheme or something that apparently didn't go too well. So he's got this girlfriend, and they've been together for a little while. She travels like 600 miles one way or both ways. I don't know what, some ridiculous amount of mileage, like every weekend, every other weekend, whatever, to go see him and all. And then they take, group photos behind with all the backdrops, all they have in prisons and all. And I got to thinking, and I was like, what is the reason that women would want to be into a dude that's obviously in there for a long time because he's got a murdering charge on that he's working out between him and the state. And because I looked into how to get conjugal visits, because I thought to myself it'd be kind of cool to hook up with a chick in prison, just hang out, get some conjugal visits, find some interesting stories, but I don't think you can just walk in there and just start banging prison chicks, I don't know, but I'm on my cursory look at what's going on. I'm still in the like exploratory phase. But at any rate, I got to thinking, I was like, why would a woman want to be falling in love and marrying and dating? Because I think they're married. I don't know, with a dude that's locked up for an indefinite amount of time. Because number one, the SA, no, not the SA. That's not what I meant. Actually, I do. If we change the A to mean activity, the S, activity, it's really not that important to women, especially later on in life. It's just not what drives them, right? And they hit their peak at a lower age, and by the time they're in their 40s and 50s, it's, for the most part, not as hugely important as it is to men. So there's that. They don't have to worry. They don't have to put up with that. I knew a woman who was, I think we're pretty sure she was a closet lesbian, and she dated like really old men, mostly because their libido had pretty much gone away, and so she could give out the illusion that she was into men because of what she did for a living. That was just how it was. But she didn't really have to partake, if you know what I mean. And that's the same thing with women and murderers, right? The second thing is if you want to talk about never getting into an argument and having the nicest boyfriend in the world, it's get you a guy in prison, because he's not going to say anything. He's going, "Oh, okay, yeah, we can do that." He's not going to be like, "Bitch, what are you talking?" Because she's going to be like, we can cut the canteen off right here. Like, you want some federal dollars stuck into your canteen, or do you want to keep talking to me? So you're at such a disadvantage in prison. "Hey, baby, just wait on me. Wait a minute, I'll wait, but I don't know how much longer, and you're just going to kiss her ass the entire time." So I think that's really what it is. So when I finally get through to the feds and they get back to me on that, and I get my conjugal visits, reinstated? Is instated a word? I guess it is. I'll let you know. I'll report back and see how that goes. I was watching some squirrels yesterday evening as I was sitting outside, just going all over the place. And I thought to myself, I bet you nobody sleeps harder than a squirrel. Squirrel gets up in those little nests they got up at the top of trees, look like a big old football, and they're all curled up next to each other. I bet they sleep till like 11 o'clock the next morning, just out, like they've just tied one on too hard, because they go constantly. You ever seen a squirrel just kind of moseying? No, you don't. Everywhere they're going, they're just lightning quick, wrapping themselves up trees, jumping off it. You ever be sitting there and you'll hear like a branch from another tree, and this dingo crazy squirrel has jumped from one side of a road to another and crap. It's crazy. And I was in a Wendy's, not by choice, because I was in the middle of a food desert and it was the absolute only thing I had to eat. So I stopped in there and I was with my oldest son. This was about a couple weeks ago. And I walk in there and I go to wash my hands. And when I do, I walk clear across the dining room and I go by, they've got like a fire, like a screen with a fire playing. I don't even know if it was a real fire. It didn't put out any heat, so maybe it was just a TV. It was kind of hard to discern. And then there's like a couple couches around it and all this. And I get back to the table and I'm like, what is with FDR's fireside chats over there in the corner? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, look at that. And he looks over and he's like, he starts laughing. I'm like, what is that? I'm like, I don't know, but apparently they got couches and fires and all. And I think we should get back to the fireside chats, quite frankly. I mean, that was like 1930 something to 1944, I think, is when he died. That would be kind of cool. They were like 10 to 45 minutes. Could you imagine Biden talking for 45 minutes a day, every evening on the radio? On the radio, whoa, on the radio. You know what I mean? If that dude just rambled for 45 minutes, I would tune in. I would get me one of those wooden old radios with like the screen, it's got like tweed on it and stuff. It looks like an old church. I just sit there like with both of my hands like this. I don't hold my phone, so I can't do both of them. And I would just sit there and just listen to the nonsense that was spewed. And last thing I'll say is I don't decorate for Halloween. All I do is I give a reprieve to the spiders. I don't take down their webs in the month of October. They get it.